welcome to LADDAD Diaries episode 2. So it's a couple of nights since my last diary update, and today's not been a great day, to be honest. It's Catherine and I had a bit of a falling out, and it's been a bit of a tense day, and yeah, I'll get onto that in a little while anyway. But just to update you about my day yesterday. So kids got up about normal time, about 10 to 7 it was, and then the evening before, actually, Catherine and I had gone to bed quite late because I've been doing that first video diary, and Catherine hadn't felt very well. She got a really swollen tummy and yeah, just really wasn't feeling very well, so it's a bit of a late night again, and yeah, didn't really sleep well. So it wasn't a great night's sleep, and as I said in the diary the day before, sleep is important and key. So do get as much as you can, especially with kids. Yeah, and then it's a bit of a quiet morning. Nothing really happened. Kids were playing as usual, had their breakfast. I did the same, did some work, and then when I suppose when I came off a snack, actually, Catherine and the kids had a little setup in the lounge with the pop-up tent up, and they were doing a video call with Eric's preschool, and it was quite sweet. It had all the kids from all the different classes and stuff all together, just doing a story time together, and Eric was really excited, and he was loving it, and it's quite cute. You'll see in the pictures that I put up. It was quite nice. Catherine got a bit emotional. She was a bit, obviously missing nursery for the kids. And yeah, I think a few of the mums were a bit emotional on there, and it was a bit of an emotional event, but it was quite sweet and nice. And then, yeah, after that, on a Friday, I do a work quiz. So everyone in the company at the minute is doing an online quiz, which is good. It's a good laugh. It's a good little quiz. And I won it yesterday. Woo! First time out of 5, and I won it, so I was pretty pleased with that. Nice little end to the morning. And then yeah, on to lunch. Catherine did me a nice little mezzo, shall we say, of Scotch egg, pork pie, some grapes, bit of cheese, lovely, bit of pickle, really nice. Lissy halfway through was falling asleep, bless her, and she was obviously just absolutely shattered, and just so cute when the little kid just sort of dropping off, eating into their food. It's very sweet. Anyway, so I put her to sleep, rocked her and put her to sleep in the lounge. We have the pushchair out. It's quite funny, just a pushchair in the middle of the lounge. Again, I'll put pictures up and you can see it, but it's just a way Catherine's found to get her to sleep in the afternoons to have her nap. So it's quite good, and it works. So yeah, ain't broke, don't fix it. So did that. Eric was a bit shouting, a bit not really getting on with it and eating, and he was just a bit faffing about a bit. He was up and down in the afternoon after that as well, coming to see me constantly. Yeah, he's getting a bit, Friday afternoons at work sometimes are a bit much anyway, and yeah, with him coming up, it's a lot. I say Friday afternoons is a bit much because Catherine works also on a Friday, so she does a couple of hours of work on a Friday. So I finish work early, start early in the morning, finish early in the afternoon, and then do a little bit more after Catherine's finished. So it's always a bit of a rushed day, and it does get you a bit antsy about it, or me a bit antsy about it anyway. Yeah, so I have the kids, which is it's a nice point. It's always I look forward to it, going down with them and having the afternoon with them. But it was a bit of a pressured afternoon. I wasn't in the best of moods. We got on with it, and we made a little wrestling ring out of a cardboard box. I'll put a picture up of it, but it was absolute crap. It's like Pinterest gone wrong. It's just absolutely awful. But Eric liked it, trashed it within 2 minutes, but he did like it. Yeah, got the old poo again, so I had to change Alicia for the poo. So we went up to the bath early if she had her dinner, and then did a poo. So I was like, all right, just get her straight in the bath. So the bath was a bit early. Got her in the bath. That was all fine. I did bath time because Catherine was still working. Catherine came down and did the last little bits. I went and did my work for a little bit. Came down just in time for bedtime. Kids went down all right. Wasn't too much of a hassle. Cooked dinner, which was nice. Little Nando's number, bit of Nando's chicken, bit of the old sauce on there, and some corn on the cob. It was lovely. While she was doing that, I was preparing the family quiz. So every Friday we do a family quiz where my family join, and I've got family all over the world. So they join from California and Australia, and here in the UK, Malaysia as well. And we do a little quiz, so I arrange that every week. It's just a bit of fun, and everyone has a bit of a catch up, and we talk on house party and just have a bit of a chat while we're playing the quiz. And that was all good. And it's actually quite funny because my mum, the week before, I'd taken the mick out of her and said that she looked a bit like Carol Baskin, obviously from the Tiger King. And yeah, she rocked up to the call and she had a little flowers around her head and the throw of a tiger skin in the background and her leopard print cardigan and stuff. It was hilarious. I thought it was brilliant, to be fair to her. Fair play to you, girl. That was really funny. Did the quiz. There's only a few of us this week. A few people couldn't make it. Sister had date night and stuff. Other sister had things to do in California, so there was just a few of us. Got on, did the quiz, all good. Catherine actually won it. It was quite nice. We spoke for a couple of hours with everyone all together, and then it turned, people. It turned. Yeah. Catherine made, I think the first video I'd done at maybe a couple of points I'd put in there hadn't come across very well, and maybe I've maybe portrayed her in a way of not being a bit, I've said about her being a bit ratty. She's obviously not. It's just tongue in cheek, and I'm having a joke. Anyway, and she managed to comment about saying that at the weekends, I get all jobs done because I want to, get away from the kids, and she has to look after them. Apparently, it was all in jest, and I took it the wrong way. And then she mentioned another thing about, when I'm at work, I'm better up there just chatting with my friends all day. And in hindsight, it's silly, and she, of course, she doesn't think that, and she said that she doesn't. And it was just at that point in time, I got quite offended by it, and I got defensive about it. So we ended up having a bit of a furore, shall we say, on the phone, and everyone's there. It's quite intense. Having a bit of a domestic on the phone is a bit embarrassing as well. So sort of get you back up as well. So that happened anyway, and we fell out and went to bed. It was late. It was like 11:30, 12 o'clock, I think, and again went to bed late. I don't know why we did it, and just didn't go to bed on good terms. And then it's been today. So I thought about it. I thought, should I do a video on this and talk about it? And then I thought, well, yeah, because this is what I've come up with the site and the concept is because, not just people with kids, but people in relationships. You have, good and bad days, and sometimes it's hard, and that's what I want to help people out with, and that's, what I'd appreciate feedback and help from other people for. And I think when you have kids, that's magnified. Everything is harder. You can't just fall out with each other and that's the end of it. You have two children, or I have two children to worry about, and to think of in that situation. And today's it's been quite a hard day. So yeah, Catherine and I have hardly spoken all day. This morning, she was down with the kids and they were doing puzzles and games, and it was all fine. I came down a bit later and did pancakes, and me and Eric came up, had the shower as we usually do. If you see my routines online, that's just how what we do every morning. And then it all sort of boiled up again in the morning, and with the kids about, it's difficult. You want to discuss things, but when do you get the chance? And then it makes things harder and awkward, and it's just a bit of a difficult situation. And I found it quite hard today, and we did have a bit of a falling out, and it's just one of those things. You say things that you don't really mean, and you have a bit of a fallout. And I took the time to go out and get my daily exercise. Don't worry, it's just once a day. I went out today, but I went out and went on a drive and went to the supermarket, got some milk and bread, just gathered my thoughts and just got out of the house. I think the situation at the minute is difficult. It's hard. You're in this situation with each other constantly. 2 kids, it's constant. People who are expecting kids, they're constant. It's an amazing thing, and they are amazing and wonderful and lovely, but it is constant, and it does become hard sometimes, and it does put pressure on relationships, and does, situations like this is difficult, and that's why I wanted to speak about it. Anyway, I went off, I came back. Catherine took that quite well, to be fair. She sort of gave me my time and space, and then she wanted to go out herself. So she went out and had a bit of time, went for a couple of hours. She went off, and I assume she was speaking to friends and family, and getting just a bit of fresh air and getting out. And in that time I was with the kids, and we were playing, and we went out in the garden, and we built some towers. The Magna blocks, you've got to get them, people. They're great for, I don't know, my daughter's 18 months. So yeah, Alicia loves them as much as Eric. Eric builds some quite cool things now with them. They're really good to get them. So you make it normal for the kids. You're stressed, and you're upset and a bit annoyed about things, but you carry on because the kids are there, and they need looking after their children. They can't look after themselves, and you try and make as good a situation as possible. So they were fine. We're playing out in the garden. Again, got some photos from today. It was quite nice. Catherine came back. Eric and I chilled and watched a bit of telly. Catherine spent a bit more time with Alicia, and kids are funny. They're just lovely little things. They really are. They just in any situation they can just make you smile and turn things around. And I've been a bit moody and miserable, and not with them, but just in general, just not my usual enthusiasm for the things we're doing, and they know, they can tell. And yeah, they had their dinner, and Catherine cooked their dinner, which was a leftover spag roll, so it was all right. They loved that. They enjoyed the spag roll, so they ate dinner nicely. And Alicia just came up to me, and she just came waddling up to me after dinner, and just came up, gave me a big cuddle, and sat with me, and she's going da 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 da. And you could just tell she was just being lovely, because she knew that I was a bit upset and not in a good mood. And it's so sweet, and it's amazing that kids do that. It's incredible. And then straight after that, Eric came in and just came and goes, "Daddy, I love you so much." And it's funny how they just know. It's funny, and I think any parent out there that's got young kids that can talk and walk and do them things, you would have had the same situation, and it's nice, and they just do make you feel a bit better. Yeah, and then anyway, we've got the usual bath time. They've gone tucked off bed. They're tired. They've had a busy day, so they're tired, and they've gone down well and slept. Catherine and I have just had a Chinese, and we're still barely speaking. We're still a bit annoyed with each other, I think, and we'll sort that out. It's fine. It's just heat of the moment situation, and these things do happen. I'm sure everyone out there who's listening, friends, family, anyone who sees the video, will understand and get the message. And yeah, I feel better myself talking about it now. So people do the same. Talk to friends, talk to family, write it down, put it on a video. I think get frustrations out of the way as quick as you can. Sometimes it's difficult, especially if you do have children. But I find it really does help me anyway. Yeah, and I've probably bored you all if anyone's actually stayed on this long to actually listen. Thank you. But yeah, we shall move on to another day tomorrow. So I'm sorry it was a bit more of a downward beat of a video, but I think, like I said before, it's really important that you talk about these things. Things can quite easily always be the Instagram moments, the moments where everything's happy and nice, and people look like they haven't had a hard day, or they haven't had tears and tantrums and everything not go perfectly. And in life, everything doesn't go perfectly, and you roll with the punches, and whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, I suppose. And as long as you're learning and making better of yourself, then move on, people. It's that's life, and that's my final little moment for the evening. So have a good one, and I'll hopefully see you for part 3. Good night.